Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Ha, Racha, Kodash, Mama. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS of their elders. Salutations to the sincere Aki and pushing his truth and sincerity around the four corners of this earth. I'm Nakar Karab Bani Yasharala, coming out of the Lions Den camp of Yasharala here in Jacksonville, Florida. And now today I'll be coming out with a lesson. The title of this lesson is, you can't eat at the Lord's table and Satan's table. And this was just inspired by a lesson that Elder Pastor Hart did. So I'm going to bring out a couple of scriptures. It's a quick hit. It ain't going to be before you too long. But it's basically pertaining to this one Jake was up trying to teach. I think the brother in Carolina. I don't know if he's North Carolina or South Carolina, but nonetheless, whoever that Jake was, he had said, like, man, I learn from everybody. I eat. So basically he's saying, man, I eat from every table. I eat from the Lord's table and the table of Satan. Basically, just to make it clear. And he was very confused. Whoever that guy was, he was very confused because he was trying to teach a brother that was set up to teach by the Most High. And that's what 2/3 of our people do not understand. We come to minister, not to be ministered to. And one of the main things that the men of the Lord that's going to push the truth is one of their main points they're going to drive is, you can't straddle the fence. You can't eat from everybody's table, because everybody's food ain't good for you. Some food is poisonous and it'll kill you, spiritually and both physically. But basically, that guy, he was trying to eat at the Lord's table and the table of devils, and that don't fly with the Most High. It don't work. But without further ado, we'll get right to the scriptures. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 33. This is, for Yahweh is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints. The Most High is not the author of confusion. Our Lord Yahweh Shai is not the author of confusion, but of peace. They're the author of peace, righteousness, and truth, as in all the churches of the saints. And that's talking about the truth. The true men of the Lord are going to push the right doctrine. Going to push the truth. Going to push the scriptures and bring them out as they're supposed to be brought out. You're not going to ever hear a true man of the Lord trying to teach doctrine of the truth and then trying to incorporate other things in the truth that don't line up. You'll never ever see a man of the Lord trying to eat at the tables, eat at the table of the Lord and the tables of the devil. It does not work. But 2/3 of our people, Jake does this. Jake tries to eat at the Lord's table and the table of devils, and then try to take everything he think he learned and mash it together, and then go and try to teach somebody, when that's a state of confusion, and the Lord is not the author of that. Because you will mislead somebody not knowing what you're talking about and not choosing your words carefully so that you can teach someone. Because, again, Jake don't understand. You cannot eat at the Lord's table and Satan's table too, because that is confusion, and the Lord is not the author of confusion. Salakia. Bear with me for a minute. All right. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 10. I'm going to start at verse 15. I'm going to start at verse 14. It says, wherefore, my dearly beloved, flee from idolatry. Flee from idolatry. Flee from all these various forms of worship that don't line up with the truth. Verse 15, I speak as wise men to judge. I speak as to wise men. Judge ye what I say. The cup of blessing which we bless, is it not the communion of the blood of Hamashiach? The bread which we break, is it not the communion of the body of Hamashiach? Meaning, we are all part of one covering. We should be eating of one table. which is the truth, the Lord's body, drinking the wisdom, eating the understanding of the word of Yahweh Yahushua, being built up in the faith. But nonetheless, we're supposed to be of one body. We're supposed to be all walking the same way. But again, for we being many are one bread and one body. We are all partakers of that bread. And that's talking about the truth. It's talking about the right way. We are all partakers of that one bread. When you paying attention and you listening to the men of the Lord that He has set up, and you're reading as you're supposed to, you will know and understand that we are all one body and we're supposed to eat from one table. That's the table of truth. That's the table of the Lord, not other tables. But Jake don't understand this. 2/3 of our people don't get this. They try to take things from Islam and Taoism and Buddhism and Mormonism and Catholicism and all these isms and schisms and try to bring it and mingle it in with the truth, and it just does not work. But again, verse 17, for we being many are one bread and one body. We are all partakers of that one bread. Behold, Israel after the flesh, are not they which eat of the sacrifices partakers of the altar? What say I then? The idol is anything. So like if that the idol is anything, or that which is offered and sacrificed to idols is anything. These are questions. Let me see. But continuing, I think it was Paul or Peter. I kind of get those two mixed up. So Salakia, if I'm a little wrong on that. But continuing, behold, I'm gonna start back up at 18. Behold, after Israel, Salakia, behold, Israel after the flesh, are not they which eat of the sacrifices partaker of the altar? What say I then? That the idol is anything, or that which is offered in the sacrifice to idols is anything. Verse 20, but I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils, and not to Yahweh. And I would not that ye should have fellowship with devils. The point, ye cannot drink of the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils. Ye cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and of the table of devils. See, it's plain and simple. We cannot eat of the Lord's table and the table of devils. We cannot say, "Oh, I eat from everybody's table. I listen to everybody." Because when you lined up with the truth and you lined up with Yahweh Yahushua, you're gonna always hunger and thirst for the truth. All this other stuff, you're gonna throw it away from you. You're gonna shun it because you don't want to be. You know it's gonna mislead you or it's misleading. But the point is, we cannot drink of the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils. We cannot be partakers at the Lord's table and partakers of the devil. We cannot do that. Trying to do that, you will provoke the Most High to judgment. You'll provoke Him to anger, and He will judge you. He could strike you. He could strike your mind. He could make you lose your mind, like meaning bug you out, and you be believing all kind of things. And we're not stronger than the Most High. But anybody that's trying to eat at the Lord's table and the table of devils, trying to drink of the Lord's cup and the cup of devils, this is what James say about that. Chapter 1. Chapter 1, verse 8. It says, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. See, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. And that Jake, whoever he was a double-minded man. He was very unstable because he was trying to pull things from you talking about. He was saying like, man, I listen to everybody. Like, you can't listen to these so-called leaders, man, that call themselves leaders of Israel, because a lot of them are flat out plain up liars. They have 501c3 gag orders. They can't tell you the truth. They're prohibited. So they got to give you that sewer water mixed with some sugar water, so you will think, oh, this is good doctrine. It's not. You cannot eat at the Lord's table and Satan's table. It does not work. With that, shalom.